How do you create an effective blog for your MSP to get free traffic from Google and ultimately more leads to your MSP business? This is what we're going to be discussing today. I'm going to share with you guys some simple tips, tricks that will allow you to start the moment this video ends. Before I get into it, I do have to mention a couple things. Obviously, my name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether it's sales training, marketing training, or even some business operations. But before I get into today's video, I do want to ask two quick things. Number one, this is the first time I'm actually sharing what it looks like, but if you want to go check out the MSP Heroes Podcast, it is these videos and some other hidden things in there that we don't advertise. I don't talk about it. It doesn't go on YouTube, but if you'd like to check it out, you could see here. We update it pretty frequently. The episodes are a little bit delayed, but you could go on here. If you like it, you enjoy it, I would appreciate a 5-star review. And it's available on Apple, Spotify, and all other major platforms as well. But it's this nice little background. It's got our logo on it. I would highly recommend checking it out, especially if you're on a drive or anything like that. You want to take it on the go. That way you can continue to grow your MSP business. And number two, if you haven't already, come hang out with us in the Discord. There's so much opportunity in there to grow your MSP business. If you go to growth-generators.com/Discord, or if you hover over to the resources area, you'll see blog in there, and you could, not blog, you'll see Discord in there. You could jump on the Discord. It is completely free to join. It is a fantastic community of MSPs growing their business. So let's dive into blogging. Now, blogging, I absolutely love. I have gone extremely deep down the SEO rabbit hole. We've been fortunate enough to get thousands of visitors to our website over time, and with a little bit of hard work, you can too. Now, I do want to set a precedent here. The benefit of this video, I was kind of indifferent about this video, but I started doing more and more and more homework. The amount of MSPs that either don't blog or have very, very few blogs is staggering. By you taking what you learn in this video and implementing it, in literally as few as a couple weeks, you could have a massive bump in traffic and start converting those people. They're going to find you online. That's why we create a blog. We want to create a blog to create and educate our customers, create content so they can find it when they type into Google, hey, IT company near me, IT specialist in the dental industry, whatever it might be. That's going to be the real benefit here across the board. So keep this in mind. This is why starting a blog is really, really important. And look, I'm not expecting you to write a blog every week. Would I love that? Of course I would. But start with what you're comfortable with. You can write a blog once a week, once every other week, once a month, but do it, start it, and be consistent with it. So let's dive into starting an actual blog, because this is going to be some really good groundwork for you to start to actually be successful. The first and most important thing that we have to do, believe it or not, is understand who we are targeting. Now, for those of you guys that have been a long-time subscriber to the channel, you already know where this is going. We have to go and grab the MSP buyer persona template. And the reason why this template is so important is because this template is going to allow you to fill out some fields to start getting an idea of who your target, who your dream customer is. Because we need to think like they do and create content that they would be searching online. And that could be small business owners, healthcare, a local area, legal firms. The list goes on and on and on. And we want to create blog posts that talk about the pain points and common questions they have about technology, about IT services, about managed services, about everything that they do that involves tech in their business. And the more content that we can create, the higher likelihood we are going to be successful. So it's important to know who we're actually creating this for, because once we know who we're creating it for, the doors truly open up for us. And I want to share with you guys, I'm going to share with you guys my blog and just how to get some ideas for this. But after we know that, we now have to think about, what do we actually create blogs about? That's a really important thing to consider. So there's a couple different tools here. I'm going to share my screen there, and you could see what tools, whether or not you like them. But Uber Suggest is a fantastic tool. You could go through here. You could search for traffic estimation, right? Traffic overview, top pages by traffic. Heck, even if you want to steal some of your competitors' traffic, you could go through. You could see traffic estimation. Type in one of your competitors in this case, and you could see, right? In this case, we've updated our website again, and we've made some massive changes on it. So it's going to take a little while for us to take a nice uptrend again. But we could punch in our competitors' websites there and start to steal some information from them. Another great resource is actually a website called Answer the Public. It's another one you could put in here, right? Tech support in XYZ area. You could talk about IT support or dental problems. Heck, ChatGPT is another great one. Google Trends is another great idea. But you want to make sure that these blog topics are aligning with not only what you offer to help them, but questions they would ask. What is HIPAA compliance? Do I need to be HIPAA compliance do I need HIPAA compliance in this state? All of these questions are important. And you want to sometimes spend a little bit of time brainstorming. There's two types of content that you can realistically make. There's evergreen, right? Content that's going to work for you forever. And then there's trending topics, content that might get a nice pop quickly. If there's a major hack, CrowdStrike did something, whatever it might be, these are things to consider and be aware of that are really important, and knowing what you're actually going to get out of it. Now, writing about trending topics, you got to remember, if you're not getting that major pop, it might be time to focus on more evergreen. Me, I'm a huge fan of evergreen. The longer I can make my content work for me, the better. So keep this in mind as you're going out and writing this type of content. But how do we actually structure the blog post? Now, you could easily cheat your way out of this one if you'd like, and you can go through and grab a free blog post template. It's somewhere in the resources area here, but you could go through and grab, there it is, a free blog post template. You can go through, grab the free blog post template if you'd like. I will leave a link down below if you'd like to grab it, but it's pretty simple. If we can remember what we learned in high school and maybe even some college, it'll be pretty straightforward, right? We have to have an introduction, something to, hook the reader and address their specific pain point. Now, there's a bunch of different ways that you can go about this, but starting and doing is way more important than getting it right the first time. I promise you. Once again, because your competitors aren't really doing this kind of stuff. Number two, we got to have the body. We want to provide actionable tips, insights, explanation that is super clear, and an easy to consume format. If our blog posts are all over the place, it makes it really hard to absorb that content. And then you want to close it out with a conclusion, right? Summarize the key points, including a strong call to action, a CTA, as many people refer to. And I'll give you a quick little example of just some of our blog posts here. And I do have a bunch of my VAs helping me, so if it's not perfect on the first run, that's okay. But how to avoid the 7 deadly MSP sales mistakes and close more deals. Right? We take our blogs, we match them up, or we take our videos, match them up with a blog post, and we do a key takeaways. This works out really good. So when somebody actually finds this, they have the opportunity to not only watch the video, but find out what information they can take away from this. And then we can address those points. You want to make sure that you add as many images as possible without getting crazy. I would say at least one image every 500 to 1,000 words. And then at the bottom, right, we want to make sure that we add some kind of call to action, which is truly what this needs, right? But these are important things that you can start doing right away, right off the bat, to start having an impact. And blogs do take time to not only write, but also rank in Google. So just because this was written about a week or so ago, we can go back and tweak it for years and years to come and address certain things. But getting it on the website is the most important thing. You've probably, I hope at least, either watched some finance people, learned something about finance. You'll hear somebody always say, it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. And that is very much what blogging is. I would much rather have a slightly imperfect blog that I can tweak later than a blog that I got right, but took me weeks and weeks of delays and getting stomped and employee work and all of that. It's really important that we make that difference. So I highly recommend starting sooner than later. But these are things that truly matter in blogging. So, what are some things that I could give you to help you crush your blogs? Right? People aren't reading a book. They're reading a more conversational piece. And I think a lot of people get hung up on this. You have first, second, and third person. Whatever you decide for your blog is fine, but stick with that across the board. Use AI. I mean, it's not uncommon to use AI. Yes, ChatGPT can 100% crank out a blog post for you, but I encourage you to leverage ChatGPT with you doing some of that work. Use it for drafting, using it for maybe editing, or you know what you want, but it's not quite working the way you want it to, or it doesn't quite say exactly what you need it to. That's really, really good. You also want to break up text, just like I showed you, with images, subheadlines, headlines, bullet points, images, all of those things, videos if you can find them, especially if they're your own. These are really important things as well. And if you're not sure how to make, or where to get these, either go on Canva, which has a ton of images to use for free. You have websites like Unsplash, sorry, Pexels, and Pixabay for free images. These are also really, really good places to go grab that to use on your blog. And you can modify and adjust. Images don't have to be crazy. They just have to help further the point or break up the text. And don't worry so much about all of the technical SEO parts. Make sure you have a great heading, a great title, a meta description, which no matter what platform you're on will require that. And those are at least the basics to get you moving in the right direction. And as you progressively do this and you see results, you're going to spend more time learning, more time understanding, and more time getting better at this. And that's exactly what you should be doing. By the way, if you've made it this far in the video, I'd appreciate a like button, a subscribe button, and a notification bell. It truly helps the videos out and helps me help more MSPs out there. But how do we make it pop out, right? Like I said, there's truly programs out there that you can use, but using great images, right, or videos to help your blog be more engaging. If you want to take it to the next level and you have information, use infographics. Truth be told, I just started using infographics on Canva, and they make it insanely easy to use. And if you don't have those YouTube videos, find either a complimentary channel that hopefully won't steal your business. We all deal with plenty of vendors. Ask them for content. They might have content out there that you can steal, and that's totally fine. Maybe not steal, but you can ask politely and they will happily let you use it in their content. But you want to think about it from a reader's perspective. What would they like to see? And if you can answer that or add that to your blog post, you're going to have a significantly higher likelihood of success than you would be without those things. Some of the worst mistakes I see in a blog is it's just a wall of text. Even if you could read it and it was well written, your eyes have a hard time focusing on every single line, especially when you're looking at it on digital. When you're looking at it on paper, it's a little bit easier, but keep that in mind. Break it up. It should be a conversational tone. There might be mildly incomplete sentences. I truly, in a weird way, love writing blogs. It takes forever. I'm not that good at English, but I enjoy doing it because it is a conversational type of piece that helps people understand. And really good blogs will get the appropriate attention and get the right attention. So, how do we promote the blog, right? We've done all this work, we've created the blog. How do we actually promote the blog? This is important, right? Some of the easiest ways to do it, I'm sure you've probably already guessed, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or X are great ways to post the blog, but share it. Be proud of it. You put a lot of work into this. At least I hope so, right? This is something that you should 100% start to share out on a regular basis. Truth be told, when I make a YouTube video, we have a process where the YouTube video gets converted into a blog post, but every time we release a video, it gets disseminated across LinkedIn and Facebook and all of the appropriate platforms out there. On top of that, leverage your blogs. Be proud of it. Email newsletters, leverage it in your email marketing, in your automations. These are huge, and you never know how far a blog is going to go. It could take 3, 6, 9 months, over a year for your blog to get the traffic that it deserves. So just because you don't see a major uptick in a week or two, it's okay. but you slowly, I like to relate it to a snowball, right? You build up that snowball, you build up that snowball, and at a certain point, that snowball kind of continues by itself going downhill and gets bigger and bigger and bigger as long as you allow it. You keep giving it the snow to grow. And that's by adding more and more content. And then we have to measure the success because that's logically the most important thing after all of this. We've done all the hard work now. How do we actually measure that success? Google Analytics is a great place to measure that success. Google Search Console, also another great place to measure that success. Now, depending on what platform you're actually on, you could do this in the back end. So, for example, our website is built on Wix. Whether or not you like the company, it doesn't matter. But we could see how many views it's getting. So these blogs got posted on November 23rd. It is currently December 10th. So they've been up for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks each. And they haven't gotten that many views yet. But that's because Google hasn't had the chance to index them, to find them, to show them out, right? We could see how much traffic all that we're getting across the entire website, right? Site sessions, post views, all of that. These are things that are going to help us. Now, this is something that Wix does offer, which is fantastic. And if you don't like using Wix and you like using WordPress, check out Yoast is another great one. Squarespace is a perfectly fine thing, but you should be able to get some kind of good data and then also measure that data, right? What are the conversion rates, newsletter signups, inquiries, right? Contact outreaches, all from your calls to action. I almost said click-through rate. You're measuring the click-through rate and the conversion rate, but from your calls to action. And encourage it. Talk about it. Be proud. You put work into this thing. I remember when I first started writing blogs and first started being a YouTuber, and I guess I'm a YouTuber, but making YouTube videos, and I wouldn't tell a soul about them. Now it's my favorite thing to do. I'm proud of the work. Now, it took a long time to get here and it took a lot of self-building up and encouragement and being proud of what I've done. But now it's my favorite thing to brag about. I get to make YouTube videos and help amazing people like you guys. It's truly, truly amazing that I get to do that. And I love bragging about it because it's something that not only I get to love what I do, but I love hearing you guys absolutely crush it. And over time, you're going to get better and better and better at blogging. It's just the more you do something, the better off you're going to be. So now that you know what to do, right? What to do, how to do it, how to promote it. You've already taken time to hit the like button and that subscribe button and that notification bell. And maybe you even went as far as looking for the podcast, which I will leave linked down below. Let's talk about just some of the quick mistakes so you don't fall into a major, major rut. Number one, avoid writing technical content. The readers of your blog are not experts. They don't know the jargon. They don't know everything. Keep that in mind. It is not that big of a deal. You want to write, believe it or not, to a ninth to maybe even 11th grade reading level. If you're using big words or if your family member who barely knows what you do wouldn't understand it, it's time to rework those sections. Don't neglect SEO. There's a lot that goes into it. Starting out, titles, images, meta descriptions, right? Most of your tools that you use, from Wix to Yoast on WordPress and many others, will tell you what you need to do. Do those things. You don't have to go to the highest degree of everything, but do the basics. It'll get you pretty darn far. And don't be inconsistent. Inconsistency will kill you, especially when you break your routine. Trust me, the worst thing that I can ever do is go a week or two without making videos. After a week or two, I'm like, I don't remember how to make this. And then I have no energy or no desire to make more content. But when I do it every day or almost every other day, I get pretty darn far and I enjoy doing it. It's not something I don't not enjoy. I love doing it. But I feel weird when I take a long break and it doesn't feel right after some time. And do your best to avoid spelling errors. They hurt credibility. And I've had some people reach out and like, hey, you have a spelling mistake here. Look, at the end of the day, we're all human. Get Grammarly. It'll get you 90% there for the free version, almost 100% there. Depending on where people are, they write different ways, they read different things. It's not the end of the world. Trust me. As long as they're not scattered everywhere, you're going to be fine. And if maybe you're that kind of person, you might not want to deal with somebody who's going to give you a hard time over grammar. Truth be told, I'm kind of in that boat, right? I like to help people. I'm not an English major. I'm a salesperson and a marketer, and I want to help you crush it. So if you've gotten a lot of value from this video, I'd appreciate it if you took a second to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell for following along. Come hang out with us in the Discord, growth-generators.com/Discord, or check out the podcasts, the MSP Heroes Podcast. We are working on so much stuff, especially during this holiday season. We are cramming for the end of the year here. Love the heck out of you guys, as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.